will provide you necessary information concerning the identification of drainage, the terms related to drainage basin and the pattern of settlement. What do the term drainage basin stands for? An area collectively drained by the network of a river and its tributaries is termed as a drainage basin. You can identify three distinct types of drainage in the topo sheet. They are dendritic, trellis and radial. How can we recognize the dendritic pattern of drainage? Let's see. Children, there is a close connection between the general structure of the basin and the pattern of drainage. The dendritic pattern develops in a region which is made of rocks having uniform structure. It is a pattern like the veins of a leaf. On a topo sheet, you can see patterns like this, which is termed as dendritic pattern. Dendritic pattern looks like the veins of a leaf. Okay. The pattern which looks like the veins of a leaf is termed as dendritic pattern. Next, we have to recognize trellis pattern. The trellis drainage pattern develops in a region which is made up of alternate belts of hard and soft rocks which is at right angle to the general slope. The trellis pattern is at right angle to the general slope. Wherever you notice patterns like this, you have to recognize it as trellis pattern. Next, the third pattern of drainage is radial. A radial pattern looks like the spokes of a wheel. Looks like the spokes of a wheel. A radial drainage pattern develops on a dome or volcanic cone. The rivers flow outward, forming a pattern like the spoke of a wheel. With a pattern which looks like the spoke of a wheel is termed as radial pattern. In a topo sheet, you can see three distinct patterns of drainage such as dendritic pattern, trellis pattern and radial pattern. Dendritic pattern looks like the veins of a leaf. The trellis pattern at right angle to the ground and radial pattern looks like the spokes of a wheel. See children, we can try to identify few of the drainage pattern in this topo sheet which belongs to 2015 board examination. Okay, this topo sheet. In this topo sheet, eastings 15 to 25 and northings 02 to 12. Here in this grid 2 to 03. The pattern of drainage is radial because here we can see the pattern is like the spokes of a wheel. If you observe carefully, you can identify the pattern as the spokes of a wheel. So the pattern of drainage in this grid square 2203 is radial. Next we can go to the grid 1606. 1606. Here too the pattern is like the spokes of a wheel. So the drainage is radial. Okay. If you observe these two grid squares 2203 and 1606, you can identify the pattern of drainage as radial. Okay. Next we can see the grid 2106. 2106. 2106. Here the pattern of drainage looks like the veins of a leaf. Okay, so it is dendritic pattern. Likewise, 2307. 2307. In this grid 2, the pattern of drainage is dendritic. Likewise, if you observe topo sheets, you can identify these three types of drainage: dendritic, trellis, radial. Okay, once again, listen. If the pattern is at the right angle to the ground, which is trellis. Okay, from veins like the veins of a leaf, dendritic, like the spokes of a wheel, radial, and at right angle to the ground, which is trellis. Next, we have a look into the terms concerning drainage basin of a river. A river's source, a river's mouth, the gradient of the river, disappearing stream, blue color water channel, dry streams, broken land, causeways, and so on are the important terms we use while interpreting drainage basin. A river's source, a place where from river begins to flow. A river's source is a place where from the rivers begins to flow. Here we have to see the spot heights to find out the source of the river, which already we explained in detail in another video concerning cardinal directions. Another term is a river's mouth. A place where the river ends is a river's mouth. Usually in the sea. Usually a river ends in the sea. Another term is the gradient of the river, which means three stages of the river, which are upper or youthful stage, middle or mature stage, and lower or old stage. There are three stages of river: upper or youthful stage, middle or mature stage, and lower or old stage. Next, we can see what are the important features concerning these three stages of a river. In the youthful stage, V-shaped valleys are formed. V-shaped valleys are formed during the upper or youthful stage of a river. In the middle or mature stage, the river tends to meander, means a bend in the river, and have many tributaries. Meandering of the river and tributaries are two important features related to middle or mature stage of a river. The third stage is lower or old stage. In the lower or old stage, the gradient is very gentle and the river forms deltas. What is meant by deltas? Alluvial deposit at the mouth of a river. Alluvial soil is deposited at the mouth of a river, which is termed as deltas. But during the lower or old stage, the gradient of the river is very gentle and form deltas. Disappearing stream is another term concerning river basin. Here, the water of the stream is absorbed in the soil before it joins the main river. So, we can see these type of features near the river bank, which is disappearing stream. See, on a topo sheet, when you see blue color water channel in a river, you have to know that the river is perennial. Means throughout the year water is available. Blue color water channel represent perennial river. Wherever you see black dots in a river, which means the river is dry or without water or dry streams. Okay. Dry streams are represented by means of black dots. Next, another feature is broken land. In the area devoid of vegetation, one can see broken land. This broken land or broken ground is caused by erosion during rain when the river is in flood. When the river overflows due to erosion, broken land is caused. Next, causeways. What is meant by causeways? A raised rod or metal platform across a minor stream. Causeways are raised rods or platform across a minor river. Too many causeways in the map indicate a dry river and region receiving seasonal or scanty rainfall. Too many causeways indicate seasonal or scanty or little rainfall. These are the important terms we have to use while interpreting the drainage basin of a river. A river's source, a river's mouth, the gradient of the river, disappearing stream, blue color water channel, dry streams, broken land, causeways, and so on. Next, we can identify these terms on a topo sheet. See children, in this topo sheet, we can see few terms concerning the drainage basin of the river. See, it is Sippu River. In this Sippu River, we can see large number of black dots. This Sippu River is full of black dots, which means that dry stream. The Sippu River is dry. Black dots in a river indicate dry stream. This Sippu River is in its middle course or mature stage. How can we say that the Sippu River is in its middle course or mature stage? Because the Sippu River is flowing through a flat level land. It is flowing through a flat land or plain. Secondly, it has a wider course with tributaries joining. Okay, we can see few tributaries or offshoots joining the main stream. Again, Sippu River is meandering. Okay, we can see large number of bends. These three features shows that the Sippu River is in its middle or mature stage. Okay, what are the three features which determine the course of the Sippu River, or the Sippu River is in its middle course? How can we say that? It is flowing through a flat land or plain. Wider course with tributaries joining, and it is meandering. Okay. In this topo sheet, we can see large number of causeways. Okay, we can see large number of causeways. These causeways indicate seasonal or scanty rainfall. These too many causeways in this topo sheet indicate the region in this map experience or receive seasonal or scanty rainfall. Next we can see this topo sheet. See, in this river we can see a blue color water channel. This blue line in this river indicates that the river is perennial, which means throughout the year water is available in this river. Blue water channel shows that the water body is perennial. Next we can identify another feature. See, here we can see black curved lines, which stands for broken ground. These black curved lines near the river bank indicate broken ground or broken land. Whenever the river overflows or in the flood due to erosion, these broken grounds are formed. Okay. Next you see this picture. See, this stream ends in broken line, which indicate disappearing or undefined stream. This feature in a topo sheet indicate disappearing or undefined stream. Disappearing or undefined stream. In this topo sheet we can see disappearing or undefined stream in many places. Okay. Let's identify the settlements. Mainly the settlements can be classified into three groups: nucleated or clustered settlement, linear settlement, and scattered or dispersed settlement. Settlement can be classified into three types: nucleated, clustered or compact settlement, linear settlement, and scattered or dispersed settlement. First we can see what is a nucleated or clustered or compact settlement. See, here you can see permanent huts or red squares in groups with a post office or temple. Okay, large number of red squares or permanent huts are seen together with a post office or temple. Indicate nucleated or clustered or compact settlement. Okay. Next we can see what is a linear settlement. Here one can see red squares are found on either side of a river or a road. Red squares are found along the side of a river or a road indicate that the settlement is linear settlement. This figure represents linear settlement. The third type of settlement seen in the topo sheet is scattered or dispersed settlement. Here, The red squares are seen farther apart. In this figure, only 2 or 3 permanent huts or red squares may be found. You can see only few, very few red squares or permanent settlement in this figure. These type of settlements are known as scattered or dispersed settlement. Okay. On a topo sheet, we can see 3 types of settlement: nucleated, clustered or compact settlement, linear settlement, and dispersed or scattered settlement. If you see large number of red squares together along with a temple or a post office, you can give the name nucleated or clustered or compact settlement. If the red squares are seen along the side of a road or a river, which stands for linear settlement. In scattered or dispersed settlement, red squares are seen farther apart, or 2 or 3 permanent huts or red squares may be found. Okay. Children, next we discuss important man-made and natural features depicted in a topographical survey map. Few man-made features are permanent huts, temporary huts, causeways, metal road, artificial lake with embankment, international boundaries, state boundaries, post office, post and telegraph office, inspection bungalow, car track, back track, footpath, settlement, canal, the word canal printed, and so on. The natural features include streams, broken ground, sand dunes, depression, dry bank, dry river with island. The terms open scrub, mixed jungle, and so on printed. Fall 10R. Likewise, you can see many man-made and natural features in the topographical survey map. Dear children, once again I remind you the pattern of question paper for board exam. There will be one paper of 2-hour duration carrying 80 marks. The paper will consist of part 1 and part 2. Part 1 is the compulsory part with 2 questions. Question 1 will be based on topographical maps and question 2 will be based on outline map of India, which cover 30 marks. You are expected to answer any 5 questions out of 9 questions from part 2. Okay. In your textbook, there is a detailed information concerning all the features of topographical survey maps. Practice well and score high. Dear children, I hope that the videos in this channel help you to revise the terms concerning topographical survey maps quickly and to understand better. Suggestions are always welcome for improvement. See you in next video. Bye. Thank you.